So Yair Rodriguez is going to fight Jeremy Stevens, and I have really just one thought on that. About time. What the hell's kept these guys apart? And, when you want to talk about real fighters in this sport, there used to be rosters full of them. Anybody on the roster was a real fighter. It's just not that way anymore, but there are some guys that are. Jeremy Stevens fits that bill. Anyone, different weight classes, 3-round fight, 5-round fight, this country, that country, this rules, those rules, however you want to do it. Buy him a plane ticket, let him know when he's up. Okay, I'm in. Yair Rodriguez. And by the way, Jeremy Stevens, you go back and look at the guys oh, my goodness. I mean, he just had some weird guys. Most guys will try to fight the same guy every single time, right? Floyd Mayweather comes to mind, just to offer you a name that you know, but Floyd Mayweather particularly stayed away from Zab Judah. But Floyd didn't lie about it. He said, I don't like his style. And I don't know that I have to beat him for my legacy because Zab's lost a couple of fights. I fought those guys, and I beat them both. In any standard tournament format, I'm ahead of him. But I will concede if I matched up with him in the opening, I might not have advanced. I just have a problem with his stuff, but I'm better. But Floyd did a very good job of just telling that. I don't like the way he stands. I don't like his speed. I don't like that he's defensive while I'm I don't like it. I'm out. Finally had to step in there with him, and Floyd beat him. He told the truth. He said, I can beat that guy, I just don't like the match. Floyd did the match. He beat him. He didn't like it. He didn't look great. He took some big shots. Floyd was right. You will generally try to fight the same guy over and over again. If you are really good at grappling, you will try to fight a guy who's a striker. If you're good at getting inside, you might try to always fight a taller opponent. If you're not so good at getting on the inside, you might always try to fight a shorter opponent. But either way, you will try to fight the same guy every single time. Do that 30 times, call it a career, and move on to the next chapter. Jeremy Stevens has fought every weird, every orthodox, every unorthodox, every stand-up heavy, every grappling heavy. He has fought every style you possibly could, I thought. Because Yair Rodriguez is the only guy out there with a skill set that Jeremy has not seen before. I did not think that was possible until you bring in Yair. Now, I'm dealing from the bottom of the deck. I'm pulling out an ace of spades. Nobody has Yair's style. When have you ever seen another fighter go, oh, Yair fights just like him? Never. It's going to take 10 years. There's kids right now, 11 and 12 and 14 years old, that idolize Yair, and in a decade will come out and go, oh, that guy fights like Yair. Then that guy will go do an interview and tell you the truth. My favorite fighter is Yair Rodriguez. He is so unique. He's only getting better, by the way. I talked to one of his coaches, Mark Perry, who was the coach at Illinois when Yair was coming in the room and training. He just said how hard this guy worked. Now, that's wrestling, pure wrestling. Mark Perry now got a new job. He's over at Iowa. I don't know that him and Yair have seen each other since. But he was talking about how hard he worked at wrestling and how little he knew about wrestling. Now, I can just tell you as a wrestler what a difficult sport that is, and that no adult goes into wrestling. Many of you are adults. Raise your hand. None of you go into wrestling, right? You either did that your whole life and you still do, or you just missed the boat on that. Yair went out there as a young 20s and started his first time. This is to go in conjunction with his stand-up skills, with all of his crazy techniques, with his cardio, with his reach, with all of his wildness. Yair is a very rare talent. Very, very rare. And Frankie Edgar did show us a lesson that we get taught over and over again, which is the basics will beat flair, but you got to be disciplined on it. Frankie was able to get through this puzzle, but he used extreme basics. The one thing that Flair doesn't like. Jeremy has those same skills. Jeremy and Frankie are very, very comparable athletes. Very, very comparable fighters. I would offer to you, it will come back to something as simple as, can Jeremy not only get on the inside, but can he mix it up? That was what Frankie did. So many people, the double leg of Frankie Edgar is what was the story of his fight with Yair. They're wrong. You're close, though. You're close, but you're wrong. What made Frankie's double leg work in that fight is that he was mixing just as many combinations with his hands into the mix. He always knew where Yair was. He was always touching him with something to know exactly where he was before he changed elevation and hit that tackle. And while that tackle and that double leg and those positions where Frankie really did his damage, it never would have worked if he didn't have the distractions of the strikes. I see Jeremy Stephens as a guy that has those exact same tools. The question, can he put them together? And can he figure out a puzzle as complicated as Yair on the fly? Because you only get one shot at it. I can assure you right now, Jeremy, as much as he's trying to train with guys that do what Yair does, and Jeremy would tell you this too, he's failed. He's failed at doing that. It's a rare skill set. You can see it on TV. You can break it down. You can bring guys that come in and do something close. Yair, one shot, one time live. And coming soon. Yair. 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 Yair.